Welcome back to the Filthy 5150 RC channel. Thank you guys for tuning back in. As you've seen on the last video, I showed you my first attempt at a build. Like I said, I had wished I had gotten that one step by step and what I did and how I did it, just so I can show all you new builders out there or the new people coming into FPV or just quads in general how to build. But too little too late. So we're going to do it with this one. Now this is a company that I came across kind of by accident. He walked into where I work one day and was like, hey, my name is so-and-so and this is what I do. Well, his name is Pang and the company is SKYLINE. Now this is a box full of goodies that I have for this particular build. Some of them did come with this, some of them didn't. I'd have added on afterwards. This is another Fox Sierra antenna. I ordered two just because it was cheaper to buy two than just one, so it made a lot of sense. So we're going to run that antenna. I have some upgrade GoPro replacement 2.5 lenses in here. This is going to be the PDB OSD combo that I will be putting into the build. This is a Maytech Systems PDB OSD. Let's open it up here. We got some props. He gave me some props to try out. These are the Dow T5040 version 2s. So these ones are supposed to be a lot more indestructible. We'll see. I haven't destroyed the 4-inch ones yet, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm crashing enough as it is. So I also got some cyclones. He gave me some cyclones, which are going to be freaking awesome. I've heard nothing but good things with the cyclones. Sorry, I still got that cough. It's not going away. But anyways, heard some great things about cyclones. A lot of people have reviewed a ton of cyclones and love them. One of which is including Joshua Bardwell and UAV Futures Stu. Seems to be using nothing but these right now, so I figured I'll give them a shot. Next up is the ESCs that I am running. I don't know if you can see that. Let me take a look here. Get the glare out of there. DYS XSD 30A version 2. And if you look down there, it's D-Shots. 3-cell to 5S BL Heli S. Now, in the description of these guys, it says it'll run up to D-Shot 600, which is something I want to try, different than on this quad, which is the XS 30 amp BL Heli S one-shot 142 ESCs. So I figured I'd give these a try and see how we do. Got 4 of those guys, obviously. Someone told me I should always buy 5 or 6 just to have replacements, but I don't know, after flying that thing, I haven't destroyed a whole lot of anything. That's just the stock lens from the other one. There's our flight controller, which is an X-Racer F303 SPI. Comes with a full pin set and cable to plug into your receiver. That's the same flight controller that I'm using in the 4-inch build. Now these I'm really excited about, so I'm going to hold off on those for a second. I was really surprised that I was able to get a hold of these because they were that popular and so many people were just buying them out. Here's the FX799T 200. Now this one, I don't know if you guys seen it or if any of you guys use it. So this is a 200 milliwatt. This is non-switchable, but you don't really need to switch it because it's only 200 milliwatts. So you're not going to blast the guy next to you. But as you look here, it's actually got a header. The reason being is this chassis actually has a mount specific to receive a header for your transmitter. So you can reinforce it 2 ways. Reinforce it from the header, or with a zip tie, or both. So then you have a really secure VTX mount, or mounted, because I've heard horror stories of people ripping the heads off of their, or the coaxes off of their VTXs and destroying the VTXs and so on and so forth. So with being able to do that, you relieve the stress on the joints and you actually put it out on the antenna, which I'd rather destroy an antenna than a VTX, because if I have to take apart the quad to replace the VTX, it's kind of annoying. All of its cables and its glory, and the whip antenna, which I'm not going to run for obvious reasons. Your little manual. Close this guy back up. Put that aside. Do I want to show you the motors? Do I? Sure. What the hell? We'll get into the motors. So, I don't know if you noticed what color the Dow Cyclone props were, but I'm going with a purple theme on here. And so, I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if we can get that up there nice and clear. Yeah, buddy. Right. Get the glare out of there. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? It's still kind of out of focus. Right there, if you can read it. It's the Schizo Special Edition ceramic motors. These are purple in color, and I think they're going to be awesome because I also got purple lock nuts for these guys as well, which is going to be dope. That means it's going to be purple and carbon. So I know I'm not the first one to do it, but I really like that color combo. And for my second build, I kind of wanted to start getting a little bit more picky in color and have it look nicer. So I went with these guys. I was really, like I said, really surprised that I got them. Really happy that I got them, and gonna be very excited to run these guys. Am very excited to run these guys. Now for the star of the show, I'm gonna get rid of the big box. Put that aside. Sorry about that. I just totally kicked the camera. Dun, dun, dun. This is the Raptor 210R. Now we have the version with the GoPro mount, which isn't shown on either of these, but there's a couple of different options here. Now this is going to be an optional setup. Now what that means is on the standoffs you have the option to run a longer 35mm standoff or a shorter 20mm standoff, or 25mm, what is it, 35mm or 25mm standoff. That is awesome. Reason being, if you are running, say, a heavier pack or a bigger pack, you can run the shorter standoffs, 25mm, and really centralize that weight and get it really tucked behind the head of the quad, and change the weight bias on everything. Instead of being so high on a 35mm, you're actually going to be a lot lower. And then this also has, or comes with, an antenna mount, which I was very interested in because they run these antenna tubes on here, and instead of running a zip tie and shrink tube, I think this actually might be pretty interesting on how it runs and how it holds up, I should say. Well, let's get to the goodies. This is your main plate. 4mm arms, and I believe this is 2.5mm base plate and top plate, which makes for a very good sandwich. I mean, oh, that's strong. I mean, it's strong. There's two inline mounting positions instead of having them side by side or right next to each other. The two mounting points for the arms are in line, and they're separated quite a bit. And then you have your mounting for your standoffs for your PDB OSD setup, which will get you, I believe the standoffs, there they are. That should be more than enough to be higher than the actual screw set that is already on the board. And they're purple. One thing that I noticed right away with these were deeper weld hex heads, so the hex has to go in further to lock in to actually untighten or tighten your screws, which I really like that. You don't really come across that in the RC realm or quad realm or any kind of realm at all. So I really appreciate the attention to detail. The carbon is beautiful. I don't know how well this is coming out in the shot, but oh my gosh, this is really good, high quality carbon. There's no burrs anywhere. It's very clean. Very nice sharp edges, and from what I'm told, the quality of the carbon actually allows you not to have to glue or CA any of the arms or carbon. He said you can sand them down and CA them all you want, but you don't have to. And he showed me one of the prototype quads when he was building this that had just been beat. I mean, you can see it where it had taken impacts and things like that, and that frame had hundreds of packs through it already, hundreds. And if it'll go through hundreds of packs without being bent, broken, or replaced, then I think I'm good. And none of that has actually been CA'd on his prototype frame, so I think I'm good. But very impressed with the initial sight of that. The baggie of standoffs and plastic screws and plastic nuts. I'll get to that in a second. It does come with a Maytech Systems PDB with a XT60 with built-in BEC 5 volt to 12 volt, which is nice. This is just like the one that came in the 4-inch chimp and soldered up, so I'm pretty familiar with this one. I actually like the layout of the positive and negative for the battery, the leads. Instead of having it oval, it's actually just a round, which is really nice. All the purple hardware. If you guys are purple fanatics, yeah, Pang did it right over at SKYLINE. This is awesome. I love all the purple standoffs. Like I said, you get 25 mil, 35 mil, and then these are some of the pieces that you'll need to build the head unit for the camera. Here is the antenna tubes. Now there's two in here, and he specified that there are two different types of antenna tubes in here. The curled ones in black will actually be a flexi version. Like you're not supposed to be able to, they won't collapse basically on themselves like a regular straw would, or like one of these tubes would, you know. It won't collapse to snap off. These will just continue to bend and go right back, which is great for us flyers, because the antennas, you know, that's why we do it on the shrink tube with the zip ties, is because they take so much of a beating. So I'm very interested in these, but because these are purple, I'm probably going to run these. Sorry, Pang. Or maybe I will run these. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. What I was specifying earlier about having the header on the VTX. So these are the mounts to mount that VTX, either the 35 millimeter standoffs or the 25 millimeter standoffs. Either way you go, he actually gives you both, so you don't have to think about, oh, how am I going to mount it now? I'm running the shorter standoffs, or how am I running it now? I'm running the taller standoffs. So he's very meticulous. He's thought everything through in terms of what would I want in a quad frame that I don't get already, and that is options. Literally options. 25 millimeter to 35 millimeter standoffs, plus options to mount things differently with those changes, and giving you all the hardware is amazing to do that. And I don't know anybody else that actually gives you one extra arm. So if you break one, you already have one in the kit. But I mean, good luck breaking that. Look how thick that is. I mean, I'm really trying to bend that, and I just can't bend it. I can't. I just can't bend that. So good luck trying to bend that, by the way. have fun with that. Let me know if you actually do that. And this is your top plate, obviously where your battery is going to go, and so on and so forth. Moving on to the kit. So this is going to be all the section for the head unit, or the camera mount. I keep calling it the head unit because it's at the front of the quad. This is what's going to hold your camera in place. And then there's the adjustable GoPro mount. Now, there's something a little special about this one that comes in this kit, because everybody who has a GoPro mount needs to find a way to strap it down, needs to find a way how to angle it, and blah, 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 blah. This comes with 2 different sets, 2 different angles. And look, there is a slit cut into the side of both sides to receive a GoPro strap, or battery strap, however you want to say it, a Velcro strap. This actually has a way to mount your GoPro, your Session, or whatever else you want to mount in there. Any other action camera. Great job, Pang. Great job, SKYLINE. Thank you for thinking of options once again. And there's the landing pads. So we're going to put it on the bottom of the arms because we want to keep the bottom of our plates nice and pretty. This is that antenna mount that I was talking about, which actually mounts in the back of the quad once it's all assembled on the top deck, all the way at the very end, which kind of really gives it kind of that cool, like, V antenna look, which I kind of like. I kind of dig it. So I'm going to be running that for sure. Look at that purple hardware everywhere. He gives you 2 SKYLINE battery straps, but I had to use a battery strap on the 4-inch because I snapped that one really quick. So I ordered some more. I got to call Pang and get some more SKYLINE ones. So because I really like these, they're nice, rubberized on the inside. They look really, really strong. So this is going to be the rubber for under the battery, so it doesn't go sliding around in the frame like crazy. And from what I was told, Pang is actually the one that holds a patent on this. I could be wrong, but this particular one cleans really well and then re-sticks just as much as it did before you got it dirty. So I will definitely be getting some more of this from Pang, and maybe a little bit longer or a wider quantity, but I'm not sure. But I'm definitely going to be getting some more of this from Pang so I can use in my future builds. Hardware again, hardware. So that's everything in the bag. All the parts are here for me to get started on this build. I really don't want to jump into the build because I want to really get my flying in right now, and I don't want to fly this chassis and basically destroy it without really being able to fly it, if that makes any sense to anybody. I want to be able to be good enough to fly its potential, basically is what I'm saying. And I think maybe in another month or so, I think I might be at that potential level. Hopefully I'm good enough. We'll see. It's all just time and practice, right? So the more you fly, the better off you are. I almost forgot one thing real quick, which is kind of an important piece of the build, right? I mean, we have to use a camera to be able to see where we're going. We fly at FPV for a reason, right? So Pang had suggested the new Foxier Monster. And so I went with his suggestion, seeing how I only had experience with one camera, which isn't even a whole lot because I'm still learning FPV. But he flies this camera and he says he loves it. So I took his suggestion, I ran with it. It's a $39 camera. It's not the cheapest camera out there, but right out the gate, look at the size of the lens that you're getting. I don't think I'm going to have to be changing this lens on this at all. And it comes with 2 bodies. And we'll see how everything works out. But I mean, I like the statue, or the way that the frame is actually encased, and it's not super long like some of the run cams. We'll see. We'll see. I hear really good things about this camera and all of its glory. So it comes with a bunch of stuff too. Actually, I haven't gone into full detail or opened up what actually comes in with this kit, but I guess we'll take a quick look now. Looks like some mounting hardware. More mounting hardware. Actually, I'm not sure what this is. Oh no, this is the camera stay. If you want to hang the camera, this goes around the ring there. Oh, that's the selector. It looks like, yep, the menu selector. So when you go to program your camera, you just hook that up, and then you got all the buttons right there. It's basically like a controller. I think. I could be wrong on that. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of experience with these cameras, and I haven't done a whole lot of research with these cameras. I went solely off of a suggestion with this one. So I heard some really good things about it too before I bought it. So I just didn't see a whole lot of in-depth review on it. So, Hank, I hope you're right. I'm just kidding, man. I really like the camera. I really like everything that you suggested, and I've been able to test most of it so far on the 4-inch frame, and we'll finish testing the rest of it on this guy. So, if you like the frame, you like the layouts, hit up Pang. I'll leave the link down below in the descriptions. Comment, ask me questions, let me know. And other than that, we'll see you guys on the next one. Get out there and do some RCing.